What's up, guys? We live? What's going on? We got a chill day today, bro. Chill day. Chill episode. Not every day's action packed. Not every day. I'm glad it's not action packed. It would be, bro. Imagine people kept getting in trouble every day. That would be pretty tough for me to cover. So anyway, we got a couple stuff. You guys saw Bernardo in the video on the thumbnail. You see Rosinski in there. So we're gonna look at what they got going on. Some other stuff too. Where are we? Here we go. You know, we start slow and everybody kind of it's like jiu-jitsu class. People just kind of walk in, they waltz in kind of towards the middle beginning of the class, 10, 15 minutes after class start. But that's okay. We got the Mendez Bros. You guys love the Mendez Bros, man. You guys love them. They in the magazine says the Mendez brothers fueled by purpose. They got their families there. Look at that. Look at that photogenic family. So a lot of people didn't realize that Guy Mendez is older than Hoffa. They're not twins. They're just brothers. You got the wives right there. You got the kids. I don't know whose kids is who. One of the kids he growing pretty quick. Was that he definitely the oldest kid? Some other kids. Well, that's awesome, man. It's good to see the family. This is in Newport Beach, so if you guys know California, Newport Beach, they got money, guys. They got a lot more money than me. They got a ton more money than me to live in Newport Beach. And guys, listen, that's their home right there. That's not a hotel. That's their home, their house with the cement floor, cement walls, cement floor. They got more money than a lot of us. But shout out to them. Says thank you, Newport Beach Magazine, for sharing a little bit of our story with our amazing community. So they've only been, I think they got their school in 2010 or 2012 or something like that. 10 years. They've already, made a lot of money and got a lot of students. So I can't hate too hard. I can't hate too hard on them. All right. They doing it. They living the American dream over here. Got some more pictures. If shoot, my eyesight not the best, guys. From the small city of Rio Claro in the state of Sao Paulo, Brazil, to the sun-soaked coast of Newport Beach, brothers Guy and Hoffa Mendez have shared a remarkable journey, one marked by discipline, deep family bonds, and a unwavering commitment to growth. Bro, I can barely see the text, guys. I'm sorry. Both personally and professionally, and just as importantly as husbands and fathers. Raised in Brazil, Guy and Hoffa discovered Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu at ages 11 and 12. Their talent was clear from the start, and by 18 and 19, they were already world champions, traveling internationally, collecting titles and teaching seminars, including to the Sheikh of Abu Dhabi. On their first visit to the United States, they met Tenor. You guys know Tenor? Shout out to Tenor, the guy that used to run Ruka. Bro, they had everything given to them, bro. I'm sorry. I know they worked hard, but man, they had everything given to them. I mean, they're meeting the Sheik. They're meeting Tenor, founder of Ruka, and Tenor, and began planning what would later become one of the most well-known academies in the sport. So, back in the day, not so much anymore, but back in the day, people would give you schools. If you were good, you were a black belt, you were a champion, they would just give you the school. Now you got to struggle. We're out here struggling. In July of 2012, at the ages of 20, 22 and 23, they got their schools at 22 and 23. That doesn't happen as much anymore. Everybody 22 and 23 now, you got to fight. And you got to hope you can win a world championship. Like the talent pool is even harder, it's deeper. Pause on that. It's just god damn, what am I saying? It's rough out here. They officially moved to the United States and founded Art of Jiu-Jitsu. They put another business out of school. They put another business out of they put another school out of business. Right next door. Attracting students worldwide, the Academy Youth Program became I can't say see especially became especially renowned for developing young champions in a structured, high quality environment. By the time they turned 27, Guy and Hoffa retired from competition. Dang. They were already set by 22. They had the school. They got the keys to the school. Actually, that might have been their gym. Yeah, they had the keys to the school. They had, they were making money, seminars. Man, life was good back then. I mean, it's good now. I mean, you got to have a lot of money to have that many kids in California. Some of you guys can't have that many kids in California. I mean, anywhere, really. Retired by 27 with 10 world titles between them. To fully focus on building AOJ into the world's most iconic jiu-jitsu academy. Over the past 12 years, they've trained hundreds of youth and adult champions, built a vibrant community, and became known locally for their family-oriented environment their academy promotes. But beyond their accomplishments on the mat, Guy and Hoffa are proudest of what they've built at home. Both brothers met their wives, Samira and Hinata, both in Rio Claro, Brazil, and have now been married for 13 years. They both got married. Wait, that's kind of weird. What's going on here? They've both been married for 13 years. What's going on over here? They made Newport Beach their home. Their home for the past 12 years, raising their children in a lifestyle rooted in family and wellness and purpose. Guy and Samara are parents. Isn't that kind of weird? They both got married at the same time. Isn't that a little weird? Nobody thinks that's weird. Just me. Nobody thinks that's weird. Nobody else thinks that's weird. They got married at the same time and retired around. Actually, I think Guy retired before, right? I'm hating a little bit. I gotta hate a little bit, man. Because I'm the same age as those guys, but clearly not anywhere near as successful. I'm not nowhere near as successful as their kids. Their kids, the kids in their jiu-jitsu program. I mean, obviously those kids are pretty rich to be able to live in Newport Beach and train there. You got Tynan wearing his AOJ gear, AOJ hat, AOJ shirt. I mean, some people might say they give some cult vibes, but you guys love them. Everybody, usual suspects. Forbes of Newport Beach. Tynan, that's kind of lame, bro. Why'd you post that? The Forbes of Newport Beach. Oh no, Tiny, come after me, bro. Let's go. Dropping in mailboxes this week. Who actually reads magazines? This ain't 2012. Who's reading magazines? What magazine is still around in America? I gotta hate a little bit. I'm sorry, guys. Getting so good at jiu-jitsu, you end up on the cover of Newport Beach Living. New goal acquired. Pinnacle of hard work and dedication. Used to give them a ride to their place when they didn't have cars yet. In my cupcake business mobile. OG beginnings. Yeah, fanboys going to fanboy. I'm the opposite. I'm an anti-fanboy. I be hating. I might be. I'm in Jersey right now. That might be why. I'm in New Jersey. Yo, if you're in New Jersey, New York, bro, people just gonna roast you, and I'm kind of doing that. I'm kind of doing that right now. Stronger MMA. So we did the story on Oliver Geddes. This is his school in Wimbledon, United Kingdom. So much love and strength going out to our coach, Oliver Geddes, as he heads home after his first round of chemo. Your stronger family is with you every step of the way. Keep fighting. We're all in. We're all in your corner. So yeah, shout out to him. Oh shoot. Shout out to him, guys. He's undergoing chemo, I believe, in his liver. So hopefully that all works out for him. We'll give him a like. Give him a like for you guys. We'll leave a message too. There you go. I left a message for you guys, man. Yeah, if you guys are in Wimbledon, check those guys out. And that's Stronger MMA. So we talked about this collab, the King's Kimono collab with IBJJF. I like the blue, the white. Not a big fan of the white. So if you're at Worlds, you can check that out. I don't know if you want to rock it or not. Quan said he ain't rocking that. A collaboration between IBJJF and King's Kimonos. Okay, that's kind of cool. I mean, they gotta pay me to wear that. Shout out to Inverted Gear. I mean, I ain't wearing no IBJJF inspired gi. The blue does look better though, guys. If you're gonna get that, get the blue. I think the white, it's supposed to be IBJJF legal, so I guess you're good on that, guys. The gi is available at the IBJJF shop.com. I don't know if you guys knew you can buy stuff from IBJJF, and it will also be sold exclusively at the Worlds. Some people. Someone said, "Can someone explain why my Kings the One version 2 failed inspection at the IBJJF Europeans due to the cuff at the bottom of the trousers being too thick, even though it claims to be IBJJF legal?" Yeah, they got you, bro. Gutted does not ship internationally, guys. Only US. So you either got to get it in person or get somebody to mail it to you. Yo, what's up, Jason? He says, I just watched Hoffa's son compete at Kids Euro. He looked so good, he probably could have competed in senior Euros and placed. Yeah, life's not fair. That's just it. He been taking private lessons with the best guys in the world, and they had the resources to travel to, Kids Europe, Kids Euros, Kids Pans, kids whatever they want to do. They go to Japan. They send the whole family to Japan, guys. I'm hoping those kids I hate this. That's the funny thing, some of those kids hate jiu-jitsu. I hate jiu-jitsu, daddy. Some of those kids, they got all the access to jiu-jitsu in the world. They're going to hate it. And it doesn't matter where you are. I don't care if you're at AOJ. There's some kids in that class that want to just play some video games. They want to play soccer. They got the best coaches in the world. They're like, I hate this. So put that in perspective. There's going to be some kids out here that have all the resources. They still hate jiu-jitsu. So yeah. Quan said he don't like these keys. So Quan only like AP and Shoyu Roll. But bro, Shoyu Roll. Can we find Shoyu Roll in here? Shoyu Roll put out some. I mean, I used to be sponsored by Shoyu Roll too. Shout out to Shoyu Roll. But man, they put out some rough looking gis, bro. Let's see. Can we find one? I mean, look at this thing. What's up with Quan? You on here, Quan? You gonna wear this gi, Quan? Quan, come defend Shoyu Roll, Quan. I don't know, man. I don't think I would wear that. Okay, it looks plain right there, though. I don't like that patch, though, bro. Nobody cares your cardio sucks. I don't think I would wear that. I don't like that either. Quan, Quan, come defend Shoyoro, Quan. Why the patch in the armpit, Quan, on the back? Why the patch like that, Quan? Quan Shoyoro representative. I mean, we already talked about that. Lucas Leopard be wearing some of the craziest Shoyoro gis. I mean, explain this one, Quan. The tribal kimono offers an intricate design approach. What kind of design is that? Featuring tonal embroidered tribal elements. I can't go too hard on Shoyoro. They have sponsored me in the past. They've helped me out a lot, so I can't be too hard on Shoyoro. I am in fact sponsored by Inverted Gear, so I push you guys to wear Inverted Gear. Let's see what AP got too. What AMP got? AP kind of going like the streetwear kind of vibe, you know? Like this not bad, right? Quan will wear that. The workwear gi. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. They got mats, they got balls. Pause on that. They do everything but make a gi. Quan says, I just like the basic comp standard stuff, yeah, with minimal patches. Quan like this stuff too, though. He'll get some of the gear like this, the soccer ball and some other stuff. The shoes. If they did a Air Max, AP Air Max, Quan be the first one to get it. The no-gi gear, I don't know about the no-gi gear. Yeah, I don't know about that. All right, Quan, explain this one, Quan. Defend this one, Quan. Quan says, I like the new workwear one with basically no patches. I mean, look at this. I don't know. I can't explain that one. I never really had an AP gi. I was, always show your roll. Yeah, I don't know about this gi either. That bag's kind of cool though. The AP bag's kind of cool. I don't know about the gi, but the AP bag is cool. That's cool. Quan, would you wear this? I can see you wearing that maybe back in Orlando. I mean, you're not gonna wear that in Vegas, bro. Quan, would you wear this, Quan? That's kind of cool. I can see Quan wearing that. It's kind of like a Supreme kind of vibe. The shoes might be cool. This was okay too. I think Pato and some other people were wearing this. That was okay. Yeah, I don't know. What's Inverted Gear got? I don't think Inverted Gear has their apparel up like that. Inverted Gear is just I don't want to say basic, but you just wear it, man. You don't have to explain yourself when you got the gi on. You could just wear the gi. You're good. It's got the pandas and the minimal patching. Yeah, I'm all for Inverted Gear, man. Look, you got your boy right there. Pretty simple design. I'm all for Inverted Gear. Look at that. That's clean right there, guys. That's clean gi right there. It says they make them with a bunch of different Japanese bag manufacturers. Oh, I might have to check those out. If it came in navy blue. Yeah, I like. That's pretty clean right there. Kind of the faded, white faded out. That ain't too bad. Yeah, I just like Inverted Gear, man. Just simple, not patched out crazy. no-gi stuff, not too crazy. Jason says you may not be able to go hard on show your roll, but the rest of us can. These designs look like Alien and Predator had a child and dumped it in a Philippines trash can. uh, yeah, I mean, show your roll. They got their own design. I can't go too hard on them. We got some more news, guys. Lehigh is adding a D1 wrestling program. So, if you guys have any daughters or sisters, cousins, try to get them into wrestling. That's a easy. Right now, it's easy to get that scholarship, guys. I think over here they had a girl. She won states, and she just started wrestling in like the last year or so. So if you got any daughters, you want them to go to college, they haven't played a sport before, look into the wrestling program. Even if they do jiu-jitsu. So Lehigh is really good. It's probably like the number 2 or 3 wrestling university in Pennsylvania, behind Penn State. My buddy Vinny, he said, Penn State, where you at? So, hopefully Penn State will start a female program. I know Iowa has a ladies program, and it's also one of the fastest growing sports for the ladies. So, and they're gonna need more female coaches. So if you guys know any high level ladies, hopefully they have coaching wrestling experience. But there's gonna be a lane for female coaches. So that's also gonna open up some opportunities. And just so you know, the ladies, they do freestyle rules, guys. They don't do folk style. They do freestyle. So that's important to note. They do freestyle. Um, yeah, so that's awesome. Lehigh is really good wrestling school. Um, so yeah, we'll see. Maybe some of the other programs, the big programs, will start their wrestling, female wrestling. We ain't got too much news today, guys. We're gonna watch some videos, but there's not too much news today. Gordon Ryan calls no time limit matches atrocious for fans. That's crazy because that's how he made his fame, through no time limit matches. In a conversation on with Joe Rogan, Ryan opened up about the downsides of no time limit matches, a format he often competed under himself. We told you we didn't want to see no time limit matches. Speaking with Rogan and former ADCC head organizer Mo, Ryan didn't mince words when describing how difficult these matches can be for the average fan to sit through. No time limit matches for spectators are just atrocious, because who wants to watch 10 minutes of jiu-jitsu? So who wants to watch like 2-hour match? 10 minutes is pushing it, but yeah. Despite the prestige of such formats, Ryan acknowledged the tension between authentic competition and viewer-friendly content. They're important to have, sometimes just to show who's the best, because you actually have to do jiu-jitsu and know how to do submissions. There's no stalling and playing tactics for 10 minutes and winning by advantage or 2 points. While he clearly values what the format offers in terms of pure competition, Ryan made it clear that its place in modern jiu-jitsu should be limited, especially if the sport hopes to expand its reach. They have their place, but to build the sport into a spectator sport, no time limit, not the way. Well, it's crazy because that's how he made his name. Quan says he flip-flops. Love no time limit, now hates it. Love the toe hold, $2,000 flip-flops. Now hates them. Yeah. A lot of times what makes someone good at jiu-jitsu or good at their sport or good at their field, doesn't really make them a good person. So Gordon, he's got his issues too, man. We did a poll yesterday. I asked, would you guys trade places with Gordon? And some people said yeah. And I was like, bro, all right. Quan says expensive flip flops were the dumbest thing I ever seen. I mean, unless they had like a really big name brand, Gucci or I don't know whoever else is out there. I don't see how they could pull it off, especially like a newer brand. I mean, how many companies has Gordon Ryan bankrupted? I hope he don't bankrupt the school. Now we got Lackland. He breaks down what top grapplers do to improve so quickly. I think they just train a lot. I think that's it. Case closed, guys. They train a lot. What makes a rising athlete become elite in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu? According to Lackland, it's how they train, how they think, and how they experiment. In a recent appearance on a Partisan Grappling podcast, Giles laid out the key habits that consistently show up among the most successful up and comers in the sport. Pretty much everyone that I've seen is good studies. Giles explained that serious athletes approach training even before class begins. Rather than just showing up, they arrive early and devote time to honing specific positions. You can do that. Some people, honestly, I feel like people get really good at purple belt. It's just like the experience. What's that curve that's like, like the competence curve? Like when you first start, obviously you're not competent. But there's that sweet spot before you become like super high level and your progress slows down. It's like around purple belt, which could be like 3 to 4 years in. That's when I feel like your skills are just like are good and you're still kind of reckless, but you're still willing to try stuff. Which also coincides when most athletes start to really stand out. Most of your world champions stand out at purple belt, which is about 3 to 4 years of experience. And they're not the most technical, but the technique's there, and they're still kind of hungry, So that's why purple belt is usually the most exciting. Blue belt can be exciting too, but usually purple belt, that's when you're starting to see like the skills solidify, the technique solidifying, the movements coming together. It's you seeing what's possible. And that's when you start to see like people beating, you might have the lower belts beating the higher belts a little bit at that point. Let's see. Giles explained that serious athletes approach training before class. You look at Bilal. I don't know who that guy is. He's probably spent 60 hours in the past 3 months just sitting there holding a foot, practicing different angles that you can apply pressure on. That kind of focused positional work, what Giles calls tinkering, is he stole that from me. He stole that from Joseph Chin. Is a common thread among rapid developers. That's also something you're going to see with younger athletes. You're not so much going to see older athletes tinkering as much. Some do, but not as much as the young guys. And some of that's free time. When you're young, you ain't got you got nothing but free time to tinker. When you older, you got wife and kids and mortgages and whatever else, car payments. You ain't tinkering as much. Yeah, there are some good blue belts. I mean, they also been training for 10 years at that point. I mean, we're in the age of, blue and purple belts already got 10 years of experience. Mika Galvao already had 10 years under his belt by purple belt. I mean, Rafa Mendez, his son, already got 10 years of experience, and he like 8 years old. That sounds like those job postings. They want a new graduate with 10 years of experience. Rafa Mendez, son, already got 20 years of experience. It's in DNA. I don't know if you could translate experience that way, jiu-jitsu experience, but possible. It's possible. It's not about mindless repetition, but rather intelligent. Why does everybody say mindless repetition? I hate when people say that. So many people are against repetition, but think about judo. Think about wrestling. Think about Greco. Think about gymnastics or skateboarding. Is it mindless repetition when you're cycling through the moves and you're building that muscle memory? And I just don't like when people say mindless repetition. You could be drilling something and, I don't know. I feel like it kind of hits your subconscious, just drilling the move, upload it to your subconscious. And then, I just don't like I don't like when people say mindless repetition. Um, I mean, you could, to me, that means you're not focused when you're doing the movement. You're thinking about something else. You're it's not deliberate. So, every move you do in jiu-jitsu, it should be deliberate. There should be a reason why you're doing this move. And even if you don't know why you're doing the move, you should be, I don't want to say you should be tinkering. I like that word though. You should be, even if it's something you've done before, you should be like practicing deliberately, trying to add that to your game or trying to see how it can fit into your game. So I just don't like how people say mindless repetition, but then intelligent experimentation. I think you do anything deliberately, you're gonna progress, guys. This sort of troubleshooting, getting a feel of things, you are getting feedback. Rather than taking sides in the drilling versus live training debate, Giles takes a more balanced view. He doesn't believe there is a single correct method, only that adaptability and deliberate learning are critical. That's what I'm saying. But, well, your choice of words is important too. If you can train it live, you're gonna get more out of it. I think there is a value in being taught and learning that way. I study mostly if I've got a problem I'm trying to work my north south passing and it's not happening. So I ask myself, who's good at north south? That study process is deliberate and problem focused. If you wanted to work your Berimbolo, you studied Levi. If you wanted to work my K guard, I would study Joseph. If I wanted to work my K guard, I would study Joseph. Does Joseph play K guard? I've never seen him use K guard. Um, and also, Lackland is, think about Lackland too. His background, Australia still, the scene in Australia, I think is still growing. So you didn't have, at least when he was coming up, they didn't have a lot of instructors, so they would have to do, travel to California, travel to all these other places. So those people tend to develop a more problem-solving kind of just philosophy. Um, but I think it would be different if you train at the Mendez Bros, because I'm not saying they got all the answers, but they probably. I feel like you would be more likely to just follow their structure. They already kind of laid the groundwork for you, so it would be like less problem solving and more. You're probably gonna drill more at AOJ. Like if I sent Quan AOJ, um, they probably will have him drilling more to understand their systems that are already pretty effective. Whereas if you don't have that framework, you don't have a million people to test yourself against, and you don't have the best instructors in the world right there to ask questions to. You're gonna have to do more experimentation. Whereas I feel like if you went to Art of Jiu-Jitsu, even Atos, I feel like, hey, you can experiment, but we already got a really effective game plan. You follow the blueprint, follow the moves that are already working at some of these other schools. I'm not saying one's better than the other, but one can get you good. They both can get you good fast, Let's hit up Reddit, guys. You guys know you guys love Reddit. Um, I just jump on Reddit a little bit. I'm not the biggest Reddit guy like I used to be. This one kind of hits home. It says, "Does your gym require you to wear gym branded or gym patch gear?" So let's make a poll for that one, guys. Does where's my thing at? Oh, your let me say academy. All right, guys, got a poll. Does your academy have a uniform policy? So, um, for those of you that don't know, I'll leave that up for a while. I train at Alliance, so we didn't have a uniform policy, but I think you had to put a patch on your gi, so you could wear whatever gi you wanted, and then you could put a patch, the Alliance patch on there. And then one day they were like, "All right, you guys got to get the uniform." So we went from wearing whatever we wanted to having to wear uniforms. And some people left because of that. So no more show your roll, no more AP. So you couldn't wear. So whatever gis you had, basically couldn't wear anymore. And then you had to purchase the gis from the gym. And then we couldn't really control the quality or the fit or the price. So you kind of were screwed a little bit. We were kind of screwed. If the gi was $200, well, you got to pay the $200. If the gi ripped, well, you got to buy another gi. The gi didn't fit well, you got to keep training with the gi that didn't fit well. I think eventually, before they would just have one gi, but now they have a couple gis. But initially, you were just screwed. You had to wear like the crappy gi. Quan said if you can't wear a show your roll or AP, he leaving. Quan 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 said I can't wear my fancy gi, man, my expensive gi. I'm leaving. It does suck. Um, and then sometimes that means the no gi. We had a uniform for the gi. You had to wear the line ski, and then you had to wear the Alliance no gi stuff. And then some gyms take it even farther. You got to wear spats and rash guard under under all your stuff. If you go to AOJ, you got to wear all that stuff. And you can only wear white gi. And you can only wear black no gi. How many rules, bro? How many rules you got to deal with? So Quan couldn't train at a AOJ unless you'd have to wear your white gis there. Someone says I've trained at probably half a dozen gyms as a member, not just as a drop in. And outside of Gracie Baja, I've never heard of having to wear gym branded gear for training, competitions, promotions, events, etc. Of course, but never for training. I joined my current gym 2 years ago. Never had this rule, and out of nowhere, the owner implements a new policy that I don't know. I might know this guy. That you must be geared up or patched up with the gym's branding to just train there. Well, if you could just throw the patch on there, $10 patch, that's fine. But if you got to wear the gi, that kind of sucks. Because the gis they never be good. They got the base model Pakistani gi. Not that there's any problem with Pakistan, but that's where most of the gis come from, outside of origin. But the fit never be good, bro. That thing gonna shrink. That thing gonna be too. It's gonna be too. The fit gonna be off, and it's gonna shrink. We were just told this is normal nowadays. Where? So figured I take an informal poll out of curiosity. Nope, my gym sells rash guards, spats, and shorts with our gym on them, but isn't required. That's perfect. If you made good apparel, people would wear it. But when you force people to wear it, I mean, it's different if you got a big school, you got a 300 member school. Okay, I understand. But if your school's small and now you throw the uniform on there, I think your priorities are mixed up. Grow your school first and then throw the uniform policy on there. No, but I try to at tournaments and seminars and promotions. Our gym doesn't require it, but coach waives a month waives a month of dues if you buy a branded gi as incentive for everybody to own at least one set. Mm, I got one for free with my 6 month sign up. Um, yeah, you should offer that new gi to the newbies, the new people. But if someone's already grandfathered in, they've been training for years without a uniform, and you throw the uniform on them. Jason says Andre said he did not have a uniform policy until he saw AOJ and how good it looked and made the same policy at Autos, not to mention the revenue. Well, but they just is that that's not that's a little bit better. It's a little bit better because they don't have a uniform policy per se, but you just have to wear the white. You got to wear the white gi, which is a lot easier. It's easier for you to wear your favorite white gi, your AP gi, your inverted gear gi, your I don't know, your origin gi that's white versus you having to wear the branded gi that comes with that your gym's promoting. That's a little bit different. That's a little bit more doable. Most people have a white gi, and there might be the odd person that doesn't have a white gi. But listen, they can find a white gi that they like. Okay, they can deal with that. But when you got to wear the branded gi from your gym, think about Gracie Baja. You got to wear the branded Gracie Baja gi. Uh, you kind of stuck. Unless you can do your own custom one, you don't know what the fit's going to be like. You don't know what the shrinkage going to be like. And you know what? These gis are never IBJJF legal. So now you got to buy a gi for your gym to train at, and then you got to buy a gi to compete in. So that kind of sucks. Um, and AOJ and Autos, they can't implement a uniform policy like they can. You only have to wear show your old gi or whatever gi, because most of their athletes are sponsored by different brands like King's Kimono, Hyperfly. They can't get rid of that branding, but they can make you wear the white version of that gi. So it's not too bad. Some schools make you wear white. Some schools make you wear black. Some schools make you wear white and blue. Some schools you can only wear white, blue, black. I don't know. But most gyms like Atos and AOJ, I mean, those are two of the top gyms in the world. They're always filming there, right? So that's a little bit different than your run-of-the-mill gym, your regular gym. If you guys not on camera all the time, you don't need that uniform policy like that. Or if your mats, if you don't have white mats that get damaged easily, then you don't need that uniform policy. It tends to work out that if you make gear that isn't ugly and you price it at competitive to retail, your members will buy it voluntarily to support and all match as a team. You're not going to get that many more buyers by forcing it. Listen to that, instructors out there. But you will get a lot more anger and grumbling. Somebody else says it's a money grab, and I say that as a club owner and 25 plus year practitioner. Someone said, do you go to my gym? It's happening at a couple gyms. Again, I think instead of focusing on their business, they're trying to implement this uniform. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on this. My take is that unless your school is bigger and unless you can offer comparable gi to like what your students could buy from Inverted Gear or Hyperfly or Show Your Roll. Um, I say stay out the branded gi business, unless you want to go the route of Gracie Baja. But I mean, you know what you're getting when you go to Gracie Baja. um, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I see that is a revenue, a way to generate revenue. Yeah, but you're forcing people to buy something. You should just make really good gear. Um, what I suggest, I've been suggesting this for a while. Nobody listens to me. Say you're a gym. Instead of making your own crappy gear, instead of making that one-off crappy gear, partner, do a collaboration with Show Your Roll, with A&P, with Inverted Gear, and make your gear that way through those brands, and then make find the brands that people want to wear. Make it optional, but then if you have good gear, people will want to wear it. Or just go the route of the other gyms, Atos and AOJ. Just have a color uniform. All right, we're just gonna wear white gis here. Okay, awesome. People understand that. I mean, people spoiled now. People buy $200 gis. I don't want to wear a crappy gi with the patches all messed up. It ain't IBJJF legal. People don't want to wear ugly stuff. If your gear look good, they will wear it. I mean, even Alliance, they would partner with like Storm. We had a grip ski. I think they got a King's Kimono gi. Yeah, you can't be making crappy uniforms now, bro. This ain't the year 2000. People are used to the finer things. We don't want crappy gis no more, guys. Come on, man. Especially if they pay a lot of money, you can't give them crappy gear. Jason says that at AOJ and Atos, when you visit, they make you wear their gi with visitor. Yo, yeah, they got visitor. They should just put a target on you. They make you wear the gi with visitor embroidered on it. At Atos, I know if you are an area visitor and do the no gi class, you have to buy the rash guard and shorts. Yep, that is true. Again, those are the best schools in the world. Unless your school is one of the best schools in the world, you got Andre Galval or you got the Mendez brothers teaching. It's gonna be hard to convince people. And if you guys think everybody at AOJ was happy with that kind of stuff, I assure you, there's people that weren't. You think there's people that all the people are happy when AOJ raises their rates? I assure you, there's people that left there. I assure you, there's people that aren't happy with it. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, do you guys want to live in a jiu-jitsu world where you have to wear uniforms everywhere? I mean, yeah. Well, if you have your own gi, you can wear it to AOJ. If you don't have your own gi, you got to wear the AOJ guest gi, and I think you gotta wear the AOJ. Actually, I think you can wear whatever no gi stuff you need to wear as long as it's black. And Atos, you might have to wear the Atos rash guard and stuff. But they got a lot more no gi kind of centered classes though. I don't know what they do, man. I don't care what they do. I bought one of my gym skis to show my support, but it's by no means required. I'm a sucker for non-traditional colorways, so a required uniform would be a deal breaker for me. So a lot of deal breakers. So you might lose some of your higher belts. I mean, the new people don't care. Moved to a new city and surprised at the number of non-Gracie Baja schools here that require their gis or patches. At least most of them let you use your own gi and just add their patch, which is fine, I suppose. One of the gyms in my area does marathon roll contests like a couple times a year and gives out free gear to the people who get the most rolls. An owner just tosses people trash rash guards and shirts across the mats. I don't like the patch rule. Our patches are overpriced, and I only buy patches for my competition gi. In theory, all gis must be patched, but I've never heard of it being enforced. Something that would be cool, in my opinion, for people who travel a lot and drop in different places is get a gi, put your home gym's patch in the main spot, then fill in around with patches from all. Don't do that. My gym asked that you wear the school gi to promotions and seminars just for the reason of pictures, but they never enforced it, and no one's ever really felt the need to play against it. Another thing I'm thinking about is that Atos and AOJ, they got a lot of members, so they don't care if people leave. But if your gym's not at that caliber and you got a lot of competition around you, you got to think about that. You might be you enact that uniform policy. All right, I'm going to the gym across the street now. I'm going to the gym across town. Screw this. I'm gonna go to where I can do whatever I want. Yeah. I don't know. I've been training so long. I ain't dealing no uniform. Up, got a uniform. All right. I think people severely overestimate the markup and profitability of branded gis. At least at every Gracie Baja I visited, Gracie Baja has over 50,000 members, bro. That's a different business model. I visited. Getting the gi through the school means you get it at cost, or you can get it online. Um, I come from a traditional martial arts background where buying a uniform is standard, so it doesn't bother me. Well, screw you, bro. We don't require visitors to wear branded gi at open mats, and you can wear whatever. Same thing with rash guards under the gi. Well, you just don't go to this guy's school. It started to become more common. Alliance requires it. Gracie Baja does. A regional chain of gyms here has the requirements too. I just moved after owning and running my own gym. At least half of the gyms I visited made me wear a loaner branded gi instead of mine and required it for membership. Instant nope for me. So yeah, some gyms. I understand it is a profit. There is actually I don't know how much profit there is. Say the gi costs you $25 to $50 to make. And you're selling it for 125, 135. Yeah, but unless you got volume, I just don't see the purpose behind constantly making your own gi. And you got to do quality control. You got to make sure everything's right. I think you should outsource that to other companies, Inverted Gear, AP, whoever. And then you make a gi that people actually want, and you make a little bit of revenue. Versus if you're trying to make your own gi through somebody in Pakistan, the gis come out messed up. I just don't see it. Traditional martial arts like karate, taekwondo, it's not even a thought that you would wear a different uniform from the schools. Why do you think BJJ is so different from other martial arts? Well, it's just how we evolved. Jiu-jitsu started off more counterculture. It was always different than traditional martial arts. We're less formal. There's no bowing. It's more relaxed. But we're seeing that go away. All the gyms that were like, trying to be different back in the day, your Gracie Baja Alliance, now they're more strict. um, you just people had so much freedom. They could wear whatever gis they wanted to. They could wear whatever rash guard they wanted to. Look at the rash guards people be wearing. They be wearing any kind of rash guard. So you let people taste freedom, and now you're trying to take the freedom away. Good luck. When you do traditional martial arts, there is no freedom. You bow to the sensei, you bow to whatever, you bow on the mat. And, you usually people going into traditional martial arts, they're usually just starting, so you don't know anything. But jiu-jitsu is way different. Just the culture of dropping in, traveling, competing. It just more. There's more cross pollination in our sport. Versus like, if you say you did Taekwondo, it never dawned on me to like drop in at another Taekwondo dojo or dojang or anything. Like, all right, it didn't seem like a thing. But jiu-jitsu was like, hey, I'm going to Chicago. I'm gonna drop in at a gym over here. No research at all. You just look in. What's closest? Here we go. I'm gonna drop in today. And the culture is just different. We have a culture of, you can wear these gis that are custom, basically fit to your body, whatever design you want, whatever fit you want, whatever you want, you can have it. Look at Show Your Roll. Look at AP. Quan says, the stricter the uniform policy, the more worship culture the academy has. That is true. You lose your personality. you lose your uniqueness when you got to wear the uniform. Which is good for the business, but is not necessarily good for the students. Again, AOJ, Atos, you can wear whatever uniform you want. It just got to be white. It just got to be white. They're not making you wear some ugly Atos gi. Well, Atos. If anything, their design has become less. Have you seen the Atos design, guys, recently? Let's see if we can find it. They've been making their gis. See, they got their own gi too. They've been making their gis like very simple. Like they simplified their logo and stuff. So they make their own gear, but you're not forced to wear this gi. And look, it's pretty simple. You can't see the patch here. You see the patch? They simplified that. And I'm not the biggest fan of that, but it's, now let's compare that to a Gracie Baja gi. So this gi, this ain't bad. You can wear that gi. It ain't bad. That's not a bad gi. The rash guards, the rash guard's not that bad either. Where's the rash guard at? Yeah, that's not bad, That's actually a good uniform. I mean, I don't really like the logo anymore. I like the details in the logo. Well, let's look at Gracie Baja. Actually, that doesn't look too bad either. Man, yeah. So when they say branded gear and gi, this is what they mean. I don't want to wear. Get out of here. How do I get out of this thing? Like, that's too much, man. That's too much. You got a big Gracie Baja, another Gracie Baja, another Gracie Baja. Okay, where are you training at? I train at Gracie Baja. Quan says, I ain't trying to worship someone 10 years younger than me, even if they are going to tap me out at will. Yeah, man, I don't want to wear this crap, bro. I'm sorry. I'm not saying Gracie Baja is crap, but look, how many gym patches do you need? Okay, Gracie Baja, Jesus Christ, how much? And man, the gyms that are small, that's $225 too, guys. You guys see that? All right, Jason Whitfield said you got to buy the uniform. Jason Whitfield gonna have you buying that $225 uniform over here. Man, what if you can't afford these gis? Yeah, we ain't even talking about that. What if you need that Santa Bowl gi? What's the pricing over here? Let's look at the pricing. Shoot, 225, 159, 159, 149. Their base model gis $149, bro. What if you can't afford that? Yeah, what if you can't afford that gi, bro? You over here. You got to pay $200 for training, another $200 for your gi. You cooked, bro. And you got to wear Gracie. Say you leave that gym, you got to take all these embroidered patches off. That's gonna, they might rip the gi off. And sometimes they make the gi so the patches are like you can't take them off unless you destroy the gi. And look, you can't take this. You can't take this patch off. That's in there. That GB1. You can't take that out. Bro, you can't force people to pay $149 for. Man, I'm paying $149. I want to wear a gi that I want to wear. Let's look at Gracie University gi. Jason says, "What is inverted gear base model price? $100, $80, $100. Boom." And inverted gear there's an inverted gear academy. All you gotta do is they just say wear some inverted gear. You can wear whatever inverted gear you want. $100. And I think you get a little discount. $100, bro. You can wear whatever gear you want. Let's look at Gracie University too. University. Yo, most of these schools that have the gi policy, they do be cults though. I gotta throw AOJ under the bus though. They kind of cultish, man. Where are the gis at? That ain't the gi. This ain't too bad. Oh. God, dog. $265. Go ahead and pay for that, guys. But that's made with Origin. That's a little bit better. But man, say you go to say you drop in at a different school, you can't wear that. Yeah, say you want an Origin gi. Say you want a nice gi. You want an custom Origin gi. If they got a uniform policy, you can't wear that Origin gi no more. You can't wear your 348 gi no more. I mean, I ain't never paying $348 for a gi, but you guys can. Bro, they won't let me get out of this though. Imagine you paid $348 for your gi. And the next day your coach is saying, "Hey, you got to wear the uniform. You can't wear your gi no more. You got to wear the uniform." I'd be pissed off. And what if you got, say you've been training for a while, you got about 10 gis. Quan got 20 gis. Quan got 20 show-year-old gis. And they say, "Hey, you got to wear the uniform." He can't wear his show-year-old gis no more. What is he supposed to do with his gis? Sell his gis? His collectible gis? That's crazy, bro. What if you sponsored? I'm sponsored by Inverted Gear. Oh, I have to wear Inverted Gear gis. I can't follow the uniform policy. I can put a patch on. That's all I'm gonna do. They got a new gi. The Rift 2.0 Raptor weave. What is that? You just got your new Raptor gi. You can't wear that Raptor gi. It's not uniform official. You can't wear your spiral cut. You can't wear that. You can't wear none of this cool stuff. You're telling me I can't wear no cool gis? I gotta wear the lame. I gotta wear the lame uniform gi. I might have to pull a Quan. I'll see you guys. I understand school's got to make money. Why not just offer your apparel? Make good apparel, offer it to your students. Make it so that they want to purchase it. We don't want to be forced to purchase. We don't want to be forced. Well, you guys are forced to pay like high tuition fees and then be forced to wear a uniform fee or pay for a uniform that you don't like. That just kind of sucks. Quan says, "I actually been selling my show you roll and AP gis. I bought too many back in Florida." Yo, Quan, good thing they have good resale value. I bought too many. Yeah, you did buy too many. Quan said, "Gonna be tough reselling any Gracie Baja gis. You gonna have to sell them to new Gracie Baja students. You might as well go ahead and donate that gi or burn it or something. You ain't getting no money back from that. Yeah, what if the gi is an investment? What if that you had a show-year-old gi? You at least you can break even or make a little profit. You ain't gonna make a profit on these ugly even the Autos gear. You can't even sell that again. Nobody gonna buy that. I used to sell some show-year-old gis, bro. I will wear the show-year-old gi a couple times and then sell that thing for a profit. Used. That thing was sold $100, $200, $300 over. That's a stupid policy. When I was shopping for a gym and they told me that I could only wear a certain color gi, I pieced out of there. I'm at a place that doesn't give a crap. Wear whatever as long as it's clean. Ironically, I bought their gi because it was $70 and good quality. And that's why a lot of the no-gi schools be doing better than the gi schools. Not all the time, but sometimes. Man, you can wear whatever no-gi stuff you want to wear. Just keep it clean. And the only no-gi places with uniform policies are is Autos. Tim Planet, you can wear whatever you want. B Team, wear whatever you want. New Wave, wear whatever you want. It's only the gi people trying to make all this money off of off the apparel like that. Well, make apparel people want to wear. Says, yeah, I don't really mind. They have a good variety of brands to choose from. I don't really care that. $50 gi people tapping out $200 gi people. It's great. Yeah, what about Sandoval? You telling me your uniform's gonna be cheaper than Sandoval gi? Bro, get off of here. No thanks. I'll pay for it. Yeah, get out of here. Oh, they got some expensive ones. Where's the cheap stuff at? Where's the cheap? Yo, Santa Bowl's expensive too. Oh, they got expensive stuff too. All right, 99, 64. All right, $64. All right, who out there? Your uniform gi is gonna be way more expensive than $64. Oh, look. Okay, look. $35 for the geese jacket only. Okay. 99, 57. You can get a gi for $57.99, guys. 40. Oh, that's kids gi. How? Yeah, look at that. All about them sweet $50 BJJ Direct gis. Yeah, you can get those gis too. You can get a gi for $70. You can get the pants for the top for $35. How much the pants though? Oh, it's a mix and match. You can get a. I don't know how much that costs though. Oh, you gotta buy that separately. And just quality, man. You don't know what kind of quality you're getting. I get inverted gear. I know the quality is going to be good. I get a shoyu roll, at least the base model. I know the quality is going to be good. I get a Fuji gi. I know the quality is going to be good. When you get these these random gis, that one-off gi, you don't know what the quality is. I don't trust the gi. The comfort, I don't trust the comfort. I don't expect that thing to last. The style's not going to be good. It's going to look like that Gracie Baja gi. It's going to be looking like the Gracie Baja gi. Man, Jesus Christ, bro. I don't know. I'm saying don't force me to wear this. You can have that as an option, your gym gi, but don't force people to wear that stuff, bro. This ain't traditional martial arts. It was okay back in the 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. It's 2025. Jiu-jitsu's kind of got that streetwear kind of culture, kind of cool. I don't want to wear no lame gis, bro. I like my inverted gear. I put my inverted gear on. I'm good, bro. Looking styling. And most of the traditional martial arts is kids anyway. At least in America, kids don't care. Put the kid in a little paper gi. You can't put no old dude in some of these gis, bro. They rip. I'm not gonna make me wear the uniform gi and that thing rip immediately. What the heck, bro? I need a gi that I can trust to stand up to these grips. Yeah, I don't like the uniform. If you guys didn't notice, I think Jason Whitfield he for the uniform. No, Jason Whitfield said you guys need the uniform. Well, you want the uniform, go to traditional martial arts. We got another post. We've been talking about uniform for a while. It says, anyone trained with Danaher for a while? I'm curious how Danaher presents his curriculum in person. Does he teach all about half guard, then move to De La Riva, and then to the next subject? How long in each one? Or does he come with random things every day? The way he teaches obviously works well. Thus, I'm really curious. The way he introduced things in instructionals is in blocks in different positions. One guy says, my old instructor trained with Marcus Buchecha about 10 years ago and said he was late to every session. And when he opened the academy, Buchecha would walk straight to the toilet and take a... Oh, why does that got to do with anything? Why are we asking about Buchecha? Been training with John in Austin for 4 years. He actually answered this after class one day, just paraphrasing, but he doesn't have a curriculum and advises against it because he thinks it becomes predictable and boring. He teaches to the most advanced people in the room and decides what to teach based on what he saw enrolling the previous day in session. Also, I've never seen him teach De La Hiva. That would be the antithesis of AOJ. So I think we talked a little bit about this, but yeah, you're going to do more drilling at AOJ, while some of the other schools, the smaller schools, maybe more. I mean, you go to AOJ, they got too many people. You go to their pro class, there's 100 people. There's 200 people there. Quan says, BJJ is all about style, especially gi. Well, some places trying to kill that style. And I assure you, when you go to some of these schools, they be talking about family friendly environment, but you just the low man on the totem pole. You ain't important at AOJ. If anything, you just a target. They put you in that guest gi, that just means to take you out. But even at Autos, you just another cog in the wheel. So I'm wondering if your school is smaller, if you have less than 300 students, I don't think you really need a uniform. It might bring a little bit of money, yeah. I don't know, man. It's just you definitely you go to AOJ or Autos, it's not very personable unless you're like super good. You know, say you're a blue belt, you just pop in the AOJ. I mean, good luck if anybody's really noticing you. I mean, maybe they might be like, "Hey, welcome in." You're gonna be paying. That's the only reason they're nice to you, because you're paying. But if you go into like a smaller gym and they're doing all this stuff, man, I don't know. I don't know. Um, so yeah, Danaher says he just does. Yeah, but you can't do that if you got 200 people in your class. It might be a little bit harder. If you watch AOJ, Gi also troubleshoots a lot of positions with advanced grapplers. Sit-up guard curriculum, for example, where Tynan presents a problem and how he solved. Also, Danaher doesn't work with the white belts as it was posted above. He teaches to advanced people that are preparing for ADCCs, IBJFs, and black belt comps. I'm wondering how Kingsway is going to be working. Nobody wants to teach white belts. Gordon Ryan's got an ego. Danaher, I don't know. Danaher going to be doing the Danaher. They're going to have, hopefully the lower belt people the junior staff can pull through. Is it true they don't really roll but do way more positional sparring? At Roca, no, they definitely do full-on open rounds. At Henzo's, yes, it's only mount, turtle, seated, standing around every day. At Henzo's, after you pass someone on the seated guard round, do you keep going and reset? Pass, sweep, back take, or submit, then reset, switching top and bottom. A lot of positional. John comes in and chills for a few minutes. He grabs his uke. This year, after his surgery, he had 2 ukes and demonstrates a technique twice. So yeah, Danaher could do this stuff, but I can't. I do that. People will be like, this guy's terrible. This technique is then repeated with the training partner until John is satisfied with how it's being performed by most of the room. Then the next technique in the next context is shown. After that, there are 4 live rounds. Mounted situation, you alternate starting in mount position. The top player tries to maintain. Bro, this sounds kind of boring to me too. Some of these gyms, you guys are like, bro, I wish I could train with Danaher, or I wish I could train with AOJ. And then you get there, you're like, bro, this sucks. A lot of it can be monotonous. That's why everybody's trying to go to the task-based games. The top player tries to maintain the mount and submit, while the bottom player tries to escape. Turtle situation, similar to mount, but starting from the turtle. Seated versus standing, the top player tries to pass, and the bottom player attempts to engage in leg entanglements or prevent the pass. Standing situation, the goal is to execute a takedown, single leg, or take the opponent's back. Alternatively, you can aim to force the opponent's hands to the mat and hold them down for 3 seconds. I mean, it's all the same stuff. We all doing the same crap, guys. Now, how much time they dedicate to the training is different. Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to train with those guys, go ahead. When he first showed up to Austin, the class was supposed to start at 10 a.m., which meant he just showed up between 10:30 and 11. Schedule changed to 11 to reflect that, and he just started showing up between 11:30 and 11:45. Latest I've seen was 12:15. Crazy part is he actually shows up on time, but just sits in his car playing on his phone. So it's not a matter of him being able to show up or having a busy schedule. He just doesn't give a crap. Well, you guys worship these people, and they can do whatever they want. Mendez Bros can do whatever they want. Danaher can do whatever he wants. Andre Galvao can do whatever he wants. Me, I get feedback. They do a thread on Reddit about me. That happened in real life. I know. It happened in real life, guys. This is something I've noticed with a handful of really talented upper belts. They have no interest in teaching, but do it begrudgingly for some reason. Was that Buchecha or was that whatchamacallit? Oh, I guess that was Danaher. Yeah, I try my best to be on time. It says a lot of talented people begrudgingly teach for some reason, or constantly complain about how they can't teach higher level techniques because the room isn't at the level yet, and they only take interest in students who have natural talent. Like, get over yourself and build the room to that level. That's why you're here. Well, the reason for them is either money or free membership, and if they started class 30 to 45 minutes late every day, people would stop showing up and they'd likely get fired. Don't get me wrong, I have no doubt that John enjoys teaching and does it as a way to keep himself busy. I just think that he equally enjoys the power trip of knowing that he can blatantly waste people's time, and not only will no one say anything about it, but they still gleefully come to every class and ask him for pictures after. Yeah, these people get away with everything, man. You guys love them. You guys buy their DVDs. You guys give them all your money. And that's the way life goes. That's the way life goes. Says the only reason I stayed is because I work at Henzo's, and so free training is a convenience. Okay. Now post hip surgery and with the opening of Kingsway, what John decides to do is up in the air, and we're not really sure whether he'll stay or leave. He ain't staying with you guys. I definitely hope it's the latter and have no intention of following. That's crazy. You can have the best instructor in the world, and people are like, "Well, okay, wait for him to go." Yeah, I don't know, man. I wonder about our sport a lot, guys. So if you saw the thumbnail, we had Bernardo Faria in it. So we're gonna listen to him. He says, "Stop chasing moves. Build your invincible BJJ game." All right, Bernardo.
Thousands of techniques. You're gonna try a bunch, but there are a few that you're gonna feel like a click. You're gonna feel like, oh man, this works for me. This is like my style. And those techniques are the ones that I call like the core. And then he came to me and he was like, Bernard, I think this is gonna work for you. And I did it, and I felt like a click. I was like, boom, man, this is good for me. This is the borderline of how I developed my game. Today I got such a great question here from Gary Helson from Checkmate Bristol in UK. Bernard, I'm trying to put together a competition game where I do the same technique from the same positions each time. So he's trying to build his competition game where he's only focused on certain techniques, similar to what I do. And he said that for him, this technique is the close guard. He was very inspired by my competition career, where I focus on only a few techniques. He was wondering how he should structure the training to be able to refine the competition-specific game, while also taking the time to be part of regular class and to learn new things. He said that the biggest challenge that he has is that while he's feeling he's being able to sharp his A game, but all his other moves are suffering. So meaning like his A game is getting better, but the rest of his jiu-jitsu is suffering. Gary, thanks so much for the question. This is such a great question.
I just saw Jason said Danaher is very repetitive, turtle and mount every day, twice a day. That's kind of old school. That's old school. I think that's from Henzo, basically. The Gracies, you know. We used to do training like this, and bro, I tell you, bro, I was like, Jesus Christ, please, for the love of God, help me. You know it works, but most people want variety in their training. And I'm not sure about New Wave or wherever they go. But we were so old school, we couldn't listen to music in training. So, bro, we're just like, bro, your mind is just like, Jesus, what am I doing here? No music, you gotta do these terrible positions. Quan said, I was sad when you left OBJJ. Yeah, man, I missed you guys, man. You know, things worked out that way. Not much I could have done. But, you know, we good now. Look at you. You doing good in Vegas. I'm doing good over here in Jersey, bro. So we made it. And we making it.
And I think it's going to help a lot of people. I'm going to go back here to when I started Jiu-Jitsu. So I started Jiu-Jitsu in 2001, while about 14 years old. In the beginning, all I would do is I would try to pull close guard, use the hip bump sweep, and get the mount or get the kimura. That was my game. I would do that against everybody. But then at some point, people started not letting me close the guard anymore. So I couldn't close the guard. They would start very low and there was no way to close the guard. So then I tried spider guard, but to me, like I had to be flexible and this and that. It was just not a good fit for me. Like I didn't feel I was flexible enough. And then I tried butterfly guard. But in my opinion, butterfly guard for me was too much going on. You know? I had no grips. The guy's moving around. I have to follow him. I was kind of slow and this and that. Butterfly guard didn't work. And then I tried half guard. And then half guard, I love it for a few reasons. One, because it was so easy to pull. I could literally pull half guard anytime I wanted. All I had to do is lie down myself underneath my opponent and lock my legs on his leg. And that's it. He's on my half guard, and now I can play the shields, I can play regular half guard, I can play whatever I want. Immediately, I felt like half guard is my thing. And then a similar thing happened with my over-under pass. Like I was yellow belt, a blue belt from my hometown school. His nickname was Coke because he used to work at Coke, the soda.
Jesus Christ, Bernardo. Bernardo, my man Bernardo yapping, bro. I love Bernardo, but he yapping, guys. I know I be yapping, but man, my man yapping, bro. Bernardo. I think this is unscripted, guys. Man, Bernardo, man, you might need to get a script, bro. Yeah, he might need to do a script first. Man, Bernardo, bro, Bernardo. Where was the story going? I know he started talking about, you know, he did the close guard, the hip bump, and then spider guard, and he finally found the half guard. But man, woo, Bernardo. 2 minutes, bro. 2 minutes of yapping, bro.
Company. And then he came to me and he was like, Bernard, I think this is gonna work for you. And he showed me the over-under pass. So he was a blue belt, I was a yellow belt. And I did it, and I felt like a click. I was like, boom, man, this is good for me. And I was kind of struggling with knee cut. I was struggling with Toriano pass. Like, knee cut was never my thing. Toriano, I felt I needed the speed and this and that. And over-under was my thing, you know. I was like, man, this works for me. So it was, again, almost like a click. So here comes the first conclusion. I mean, like, I think in Jiu-Jitsu, there's thousands or hundreds of techniques. You're gonna try a bunch, but there are a few that you're gonna feel like a click. You're gonna feel like, oh man, this works for me. This is like my style. And those techniques are the ones that I call like the core. Those will become your core. So for example, in my game, what's my core? My core is half guard when I'm on bottom and over under when I'm on top. This is my core. And now comes the second part. Now the second part is like, how can you expand your core? How can you grow around your core? On half guard, the way I expanded my core was I developed the single leg half guard, which is the one I grabbed the lapel underneath the leg and I tried staking down to the single leg. I developed the deep half guard, which I used the Faria sweep from there. And then I developed the half deep half guard that I also used the Faria sweep from there, grabbing the lapel and bumping. So then I had like single leg half guard, deep half guard, half deep half guard. And then I developed the Turkish getup from the deep half guard. So I was in the deep half guard and I could sweep my opponent, lift him in the shoulders. So it was all around the half guard. And then at some point I was training so much with the same people that I noticed that they could stop my half guard. My half guard was not working anymore. And then I went back to the close guard because it was such an easy transition between going to half guard to close guard to half guard. But you can see that the whole time I was expanding my core. My core was half guard, and then I added deep half guard, single leg half guard, Turkish get up. I started playing the half deep, half guard for the sweep, and then I went to close guard. So you can see that I was always like trying to go around the core. And same thing for the top game. So over under I felt was my thing. So then I started developing a bunch of like moves and almost like details and how to answer the what ifs inside the over under pass. I was not trying to do the cut anymore. I was not trying to do leg drags anymore. I was just trying to do the over under pass as much as I could and understand every single what if that can happen inside the over under. What if they push my head? What if they push my shoulder? What if they control my pants? What if they control my elbow? What if they hip escape? What if they bench press? And I tried to answer every single question. And then I started developing a lot of entries for the over-under pass. Entries from the lasso guard, entries from the spider guard, entries from the De La Riva guard, entries from the butterfly guard, and etc, etc, etc. And then I started learning like how to finish the over-under. If when I get the side control, they try to push my head inside the inverted triangle. If when I get the side control, they try to block my triceps and I cannot hold the head. So how I would solve those problems? So I was always expanding and expanding and expanding and expanding around my core. So I think like this is the borderline of how I developed my game. But now answering your question, Bernardo, is your other moves will suffer? I do think they will. But my theory is, in Jiu-Jitsu, I want to be open-minded to learn everything. I want to learn every single move. If you teach me breathing bolo, I want to learn. If you teach me leg drag, I want to learn. But learning doesn't mean that I need to practice and means that I need to do on the sparrings. So I would learn the moves, but I would not necessarily use those moves on the sparrings or practice those moves on a daily basis. So I would just kind of like learn it. So if someone tries to do against me, I know what's going on. If I was doing a Marcelo's class in New York and he teaches something, I would definitely learn it. I would do the drill on that session. But if I felt it was not my game, I would not pursue and continue trying to insist on that specific game. So try to learn everything, but don't practice everything. And then accept that you're developing an A game. And I think in Jiu-Jitsu, it's way easier to become really good by mastering a few moves than trying to be average on every single move. It's really hard to become a great doctor, great attorney, and great engineering all in the same time. You know, like you might need to pick one. Oh, you gotta become a doctor. And then even inside the doctor, you might need to pick like, oh, I'm gonna become a knee doctor or orthopedist. A knee orthopedist. And you keep specializing. And I think Jiu-Jitsu is pretty similar. Like you pick a few subjects, you define them as your core, and you try to grow inside those subjects and around those subjects. I have no problems with my other moves suffering a little bit if this A game is getting really good. And the last experience that I want to share here with you, I love business. Like I'm the co-founder of BJJ Fanatics, right? I have my school and I'm constantly thinking about ideas and that. So it's one thing that I really love and it feels like Jiu-Jitsu for me. And I read a book that's called Profit from the Core. And what I learned in this book is that you should define your core in the business scenario. And you should try to grow around the core. So for example, in my case, my core is Jiu-Jitsu. And then I try to grow around the core. So I have BJJ Fanatics, I have my academy, I'm an instructor inside BJJ Fanatics, I teach seminars, we sell merch. So I'm literally trying to grow around the core. So that's like what I have been doing. So it's pretty similar, like this business idea from this book and the Jiu-Jitsu idea that I'm just sharing with you right now. So really hope this helps you. Pretty much the idea was like define your core, select a few moves, define your core, be open-minded to learn everything, but understand that you don't have to spend too much time on everything. And then try to grow around the core. I think this was the main message around the video here. Don't try to, oh, I'm playing spider, I'm playing half guard, now I'm gonna try to learn reverse I'm gonna try to learn De La Riva guard or being bolo. There's not so much correlation there. So try to be around your core and grow around and inside your core. And I think that's gonna help you a lot. So guys, if you are like over 30 or over 35 or...
Shout out to Bernardo, man. He's sharing some gems. Kind of crazy because a lot of people forget he's really good at jiu-jitsu. You know, he can crush most of the people on on BJJ Fanatics basically. We got Autos, we got Worlds coming up, guys. So we'll try to keep you guys updated. Get rid of some of these. Worlds, I believe this weekend. We also got Fion versus Adele. I believe the 29th. What's the 29th? Tomorrow? Thursday? I don't know what day it is. So we'll see what's going on with that. We got 2 worlds. We'll see what the music situation is looking like. If the music's on, I can't listen to it.
Pieces and the end of
Got the Autos crew over here. Look at the gi uniform. They got a nice girls crew, huh? Look at the girls crew over there. Most schools don't have a gi uniform. They got the gis. How much are those houses over there, man? $2 million? Fion versus Adele is tomorrow night. Okay. Oh, what? I guess I was right. How do you think it will go? I think it's going to be Fion trying to pass and Adele spamming the leg attacks. We'll see. I feel like Fion's been living her best life. She hasn't really been competing, but, Adele, she hungrier. She, younger and hungrier, so it's hard to beat. They fought before, but, it wasn't an easy match for Fion. So we'll see. Fion is, for the girls, she's super strong. Adele's also really strong, but she's lighter. But if I had to go for submission, it's got to be Adele. If it's submission only, I got to go Adele. Is it Fight Pass? Fion's got the passing down and, positional control. I like Fion, but I'm kind of leaning towards Adele. I think Adele's hungrier. Adele's been training at Autos this whole time. Fion, she's trying to open up a school, dating, yada, yada, yada. So I'm going with Adele. I think Adele's more focused.
7:30 is when the girls start coming in.
Wait, what time?
I usually wake up around 6:30 to get
Jesus.
the gym ready.
Woo, 6:30. Yo, Fight Pass. This girl said she wake up at 6:30.
And then 7:30 is when the girls start coming in. We usually always live together. Even on weekends, we sometimes do things together. So it's honestly a good time
She
for
definitely her
bonding
dad's
and, getting stronger together.
It's a big role, yes. And it's actually like before Worlds, we try to focus a lot more. I don't think this is what define the success of the team, but just as Sarah mentioned, is like besides being training, is a time where they can talk more, they can share their experience or their needs or how they're feeling. They can help one another, out of jiu-jitsu
Yo, the mom,
technique.
the mastermind, bro.
And I think that brings
How many people got popped because of
even more connected.
Okay, that might be defamation. So yeah, but the girls that were lifting, we're just gonna let them lift over there. Basic lifts, deadlift and pressing, basic stuff they should be doing. Shoot, they lift more than me, and they look at them hitting the Bulgarian split squat. Bro, she looked exactly like her daddy. Did her mom's jeans didn't put up no fight? Where her mom jeans at? Yeah, these girls strong, bro. You have to fight these girls. They doing all the strength and conditioning. Fight Pass has once again done a horrible job promoting this event. I had no idea until I saw a random post. I only knew because I remembered the date, but I haven't seen anything from Fight Pass. So yet again, another organization screwing the pooch. They didn't market anything. I didn't see Adele post anything. I didn't see Fion post anything. I didn't see UFC Fight Pass post anything. So, it's like, what do you expect when the numbers are going to be so low? And then, I don't know, that like they didn't put any time or energy into it. They still got music on.
Each other.
We cannot listen to that music. So man, shout out to these girls. They got a nice females program. AOJ too, Autos. It's crazy. A lot of these schools can't field no girls. Gracie Baja ain't got no girls. Gracie Maita does. Alliance ain't really got that many girls. Dreamark got some girls, or had some girls. Who else pretty good? Soldiers ain't got no girls. What's some other teams? Checkmat got a few girls. That's just showing you that the girls, it's getting more popular with the girls, guys. Oh, that's gross. But you know, you got J-Rod over there gooning. He's scaring away all the girls. And the girls is the largest growing segment. Yeah, nice little dog. He look old. He old. That's old Frenchie. Hey, oldie. He like, man, I'm tired. It's 6:30. He's like, I'm trying to sleep. These girls strong. I'm hoping they're all natural, you know, hoping nobody's giving them anything they shouldn't be taking. They don't test at the lower belts, unfortunately. I think that's Andy Murasaki's girlfriend. Not her. That's Angelica Gaval, but I think the other girl. This girl, I think that's his girlfriend. Andy Murasaki's girlfriend, is that right? Or is it a different girl? I can't keep up, bro. Jason Whitfield know all the girls in jiu-jitsu. But yeah, shout out to them. You know, they got a ton of girls out here. It's tough for some of the schools to keep the girls. You know, they got too many creepers in the gym. They got too many J-Rods, allegedly. Too many J-Rods. Yo, man. Atos HQ, San Diego. San Diego got a ton of jiu-jitsu. Andre with the gear on.
Oh, no. What else, Sly? Good morning,
There's
player.
Orlando. There's Adele.
I want to make sure that you guys push yourself really hard, okay? Stay focused. Make sure you take care of our surroundings, okay? All right, let's go for hand fight. 1, 2, 3. All right, let's go hand fight, breaking grips, making grips. Let's go.
And turn that music down. So Sarah, she I think she's in the same division as Helena. We'll see. We'll see how these girls do. Nice. Dang, that was pretty nice. Yeah, they do a lot of hand fighting. They ain't got no space to really do much. Yeah, no space at all. You know people be getting kicked in the head too. Can't listen.
Explosive.
Can't listen to nothing, man. That's life of YouTuber, guys. We can't play nothing on the video. The sound, the music get hit, the video get hit. They be hitting everything, bro. It's rough on YouTube. But look, she's wearing a GameNess gi. You can wear whatever gi you want to wear. You can wear the Atos gi. I think you do have to wear the Atos no gi apparel though. Unless you're sponsored. Actually, I guess it doesn't matter if you're sponsored. This girl wearing the AP gi. What? I don't know what gi that is. King Samono. GameNess, yeah. I don't know what gi that was. Hyperfly. Tatami. So yeah, there you can wear whatever gi you want to wear, guys. Dang, they flying all over the place. It's kind of tough during Worlds. They have a lot of people, people dropping in. They paying for that drop in too. You're probably paying $300, maybe more for that. A week or two of training. $350 maybe, $400, $500. I don't know how much money they're paying. I knew a guy that would go there for like a month before Worlds. Sometimes it would help. It doesn't help everybody though. It doesn't help everybody to do this kind of training. There's Adele. Adele's looking focused, man. Have you guys seen Fionn training? I haven't really seen anything of Fionn training. Sarah, she grappled just like her dad. Yeah, she looked just like her dad. She looking just like her dad. Oh, Adele looking good, bro. You think Fionn gonna be okay? Jason Whitfield, you think Fionn gonna be okay?
Not good.
I don't know, man. I don't know. The only thing is Fionn is super strong. Like Fionn is like absurdly strong.
Actually,
Can't listen to that. Can't listen to anything. Oh, can we get subtitles? Oh, we got subtitles. Figuring this technology out. Yeah, a lot of self-motivation. I mean, you got to be self-motivated. There's 50 million people on the mat. You think Andre Galval's going to motivate you? You got to motivate yourself. Even Adele's like, these girls coming for her. That's awesome, man, to see the girls crew like that. You know, more girls are joining jiu-jitsu, so we got to make room for them, okay? We can't keep, the old boys club mentality ain't going to fly no more. You know, there's too many girls jumping in the sport. It's just the way it is, man. We got to clean the sport up a little bit. And can't post nothing, bro. No music, nothing.
it's my dad, guys. It's my mom too, and it means a lot.
I can't tell. There's So now you guys got to fight people. Their parents are both black belts. They've been training since they were 2 years old. I mean, I'll be retired before then, but pretty awesome to see.
Order my #1 fan, and this it means a lot to be wearing her belt.
So, Pacific Beach, if you're in San Diego, that's the place to be. Mission Beach. Of course, they got to get some acai.
Reunited.
What are the prices over there? All right, regular, you get 2 toppings, $11. Dang. All right, I got to do that $11 one, man. I get the banana and the granola maybe. Mediums 14, large 18, extra large 25. Put some almond butter, peanut butter. What you guys be putting in your acai? Condensed milk. Oh, that's what the Brazilians like. They like that condensed milk. Blueberry, coconut flakes. I don't like all that stuff in mine. They got the girl gang over here, bro.
We have to.
Bro, she looked just like her dad. I'm sorry. I can't look at her. I'm sorry. Woo. She gonna find some dude though. She gonna find some dude that Mike's not Mika's not competing. Andy Murasaki has to be the favorite this year. It's cool. I really like him. He works hard and competes a lot. I mean, everybody's working hard. Everybody's working hard, Jason. I don't know nobody out there that wasn't working hard. But yeah, Andy, he's gone to the finals like 2 or 3 times, so he might pull through. We'll see. There's always somebody out there. I think Big Breakfast is also. He might be able to take Big Breakfast, but man, Big Breakfast was looking good, bro. Big Breakfast was fighting Mika and Tyron and looked pretty good. So we'll see. Come on, Quan. You never tried acai, bro? Come on, bro. Quan, you got to get some acai, bro. I know you got some in Vegas. They got some good acai, too. Man, I want some acai. Jesus. That looks good. Quan, go try you some, bro. Yeah, so having Sarah, she's kind of like she's the leader. Look at that girl pack right there. They ready to take out J-Rod. J-Rod. I don't think J-Rod can beat all those girls. But yeah, yeah, the girls, it's growing with the girls, man. We gotta make the gym more, have a space for them. They gotta have a space. That's one of the largest growing segments. So yeah, I think a lot of gyms need to stop shooting themselves in the foot. This uniform policy, not being open to the ladies. We gotta change things. If we want jiu-jitsu to continue to grow, we gotta make it more approachable. I'm not saying water it down. No, they got some skills too. That's not fair. The Brazilian girls and Australian girls are winning in the soccer. She got some strong features. She seems nice though. So yeah, these girls gonna be doing well at Worlds, and everything else that's coming through. And, they live in a life, bro. They live in a life in. You not living over there if you broke. Pacific Beach and San Diego, you gotta have money. So more power to them. I'm just hating a little bit, just a little bit though. Yeah, to live in San Diego, man, you gotta have some money. To live in California, you gotta have some money. And train jiu-jitsu. Yeah, you gotta have that money, man. Anybody else for Worlds? I don't want to see this one. Jesus. Copyright strike. We kind of watched a little bit of this the other day. I don't want to watch anymore. All right, guys, I think that's it. We should be on tomorrow. Today was Wednesday? So we should be on tomorrow. If you guys have any suggestions for the show, go ahead and let me know. Hit me up on social media, Instagram. They had a dinner. We'll add that for tomorrow. Hopefully we don't get hit with some copyright. If you guys have any suggestions for the show, I'm always looking to grow it, like Bernardo said. I'm trying to figure out what to do for Twitch too. I've been neglecting my Twitch, so if you guys got any good suggestions for Twitch, I do want to bring some people on here. We have Pikachu, but we need to have some real guests on here. You guys, I know you guys like Pikachu, but we need to have some real people on here, and we'll figure it out, man. Keep growing the show, and I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, learning about jiu-jitsu, making fun of different people, different gis. That's what you guys come here for. As always, Inverted Gear, if you guys want to support the channel, BJ Mental Models as well. We got a video coming out, hopefully, sometime soon. I'm still doing my research, but I got the script written for my main channel, so be on the lookout for that soon, guys. It's taking me, since Pans. It's been 3 months I've been working on this video, just the research part, so it's been pretty rough. So hopefully I can get something soon. That's it, guys. I'm going to dip, man. You guys stay out of trouble. Quan, go get some acai. Jason Whitfield, stay out of trouble. I'll see you guys tomorrow, man. I haven't been playing my Inverted Gear song. We need to. All right, guys. I'll see you later. I'll play myself out, man. My Inverted Gear. You guys know I like that Inverted Gear song. See you guys. Hey, Inverted Gear. That's my song, man. Hey. 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 Say no to the gi uniforms. Say no.